All right, welcome back to Extraordinary Unlocked. Very excited to have my guest here, Denise Martinez. Denise and I didn't actually interact too much. We didn't know one another well, but Denise sent over this lovely LinkedIn message about one of the workshops that I had facilitated, and it really impacted me tremendously. And so, as we kicked off Extraordinary Unlocked, in my mind, I said, I need to get Denise here to share about how she unlocked her extraordinary. And so, Denise, I would love to have you do a quick introduction of yourself and, share a little bit about your career journey and how you got to where you're at. But Denise, I'll let you take it away.
Hi, my name is Denise. I started off working at a flooring store and I kind of just made that jump into healthcare and eventually it led me going back to school and becoming a nurse and that's what I'm doing now.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. And I sort of want to dive in a little bit deeper, but I'm going to ask you some other questions like
Mhm.
where you live in, um, born and raised, where were you coming from, sort of a little bit of the background.
Yeah, of course. So I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised. I'm still here today. Let's see. I'm a first generation to graduate from high school. My mom did eventually go back and get her GED and get a degree to teach, which also kind of inspired me to you're never too old to like go back and do anything. And then I eventually went back, got my associates while I was waiting to get into nursing school. Then I graduated with my RN and BSN in a 2-year span.
Amazing. Absolutely. So let's dive right into it. Okay. So oftentimes people, when they're doing their thing and they're just sort of going through life, going through the routines, going through what they're used to and what they're comfortable with. And at some point, folks just feel like I'm stuck. Like I cannot imagine continuing to do this year in, year out. And so I would love to hear from your point of view. When did you find yourself stuck? Like, how did you come to that realization?
So it was actually when I was working at the flooring store. So this is like back in 2018. I want to say like in the fall, I had just had enough. I was like, I've been here for 5 years. I'm not really like doing much. I'm just doing the same things over and over and over again. And I just knew like I was meant for more in life. And I had seen a friend post on Facebook that their medical office job was like hiring. And I'm like, okay, like no experience needed. Like, we're looking for unexperienced people. So I reached out to her and she like told me about it. And I was like, you know what? I don't think that's for me. Like, I was a little scared. So I was like, I'm gonna let that be. And then a few months later, she posted again that they were still hiring. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like, let's meet up for lunch. Let's talk about it. I'm interested. Like, I'm tired of doing the same old thing day in and day out.
So, Denise, I'm really excited just to hear about how you got yourself unstuck because most folks, they will go through the day to day routine after routine because they're just used to it, so comfortable. And not everyone realizes it, A, but B, they feel like I can never get unstuck. Like it's just not in my favor. I'm either too old, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time. So, would love to hear how did you find yourself stuck?
Yeah, so I was working in a flooring store, I want to say back in 2018, and I had seen a friend post on Facebook that their job was hiring at a medical office, no experience needed. And it sounded intriguing. So I reached out to her, she told me a little bit about it, and I was like, "You know what? Like I don't know anything about the medical field. I don't even think I'll get the job." So I just left it alone. And then a month later, she had posted again, and I was still feeling like in that rut. So I was like, you know what? Like, let me just meet you for lunch. Let's talk about it. Let me see if this is something I'm even interested in. And we did it. And she like really encouraged me to just like shoot my shot. You know what I mean? She's like, you never know. Just apply. And if they like you, like, you'll get the job. And I was like, okay. So I applied, I kind of put myself out there, and ended up not getting the job. Yeah, I didn't get it. And so the manager was like, "We really did like you, but, like, someone else with experience had gotten the job. So, but if there anything else comes up, like, would you be interested in that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, like, anything." And lo and behold, like, a week later, they reached back out to me and they're like, "Hey, how would you feel about being an office secretary?" And I was like, "Absolutely, like, I will take it, but just know that, like, I wanna do more than that. Like, I wanna" they called it a health coach. I was like, "That's what I really wanna do, but, like, for me to get my foot in the door, like, I will absolutely start off as a secretary." So I did. This was now December of 2018. And so I left that, started as an operations assistant, and I really fell in love with it. Like, I really liked it. It was for sure a learning curve because figuring out what a nephrologist is, I was like, and like oncology and all these different specialties, like zero medical background. So that was kind of like a hill to overcome. And then in March of 2019, that's kind of like when my mom got sick. So during this time in December, like she's having these medical issues coming up, like she's going to doctors, no one can really figure out what's going on. And in the back of our minds, like we were always worried about cancer. Like we have a huge lineage of family members that were diagnosed with any sort of cancer or like breast cancer specifically. So, we're in the back of our minds, like we're still going through our day to day, but that's what we're really worried about. And in December, she had gotten kind of the all clear. Like, we're not worried about cancer. We think it's just an iron deficiency. And I'm like, thank God. Like, it felt like a weight had been lifted off of us because my mom was 42, 43 at the time, like super
Okay.
young, you know?
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, the cancer scare is gone. We're good. We're living life. And in March, my mom had gone to the doctor because she was having a nystagmus, which is basically like where your eye kind of goes like this. So she goes to an eye doctor appointment, and the ophthalmologist is immediately like, you need to go to the hospital right now. Like, you could have a brain tumor.
Oh my God.
So, like, my mom like meets us at our grandparents' house, and she's freaking out, rightfully so. And I'm just like, like, let's calm down. Like, we don't know anything till we know. Let's just go to the hospital, let's get imaging done, and like let's just go from there. So they recommended her to go to St. Joe's because of Barrows. They're like world renowned for all things like neurological, so brain. And they did a PET scan and it just lit up. She had it in her brain, in her kidneys, lymph nodes, everywhere. Everywhere but her breast, ironically so. The one thing we were worried about wasn't there, but just lit up, and we're just like, wow. So just within a day, our just whole life just shifts. So she ended up like staying there and being admitted for I don't even know how long. I mean, I'm very new to the medical field. Like I had just got hired in December. I'm 3 months in, and I'm the one that knows the most about healthcare now in my family. And just trying to
Wow.
navigate that was really hard. And so like the whole time we're dealing with all of this, like my mom is just a rock, like has very good sense of humor, like living it up. She's just like doing the best with the situation that we're in. And then they were never able to stage her. So they just said it was like stage 4 metastatic, but like they didn't know the origin. That's what it was. So just very aggressive cancer. I think maybe 1 round of chemo radiation, and then she was on hospice in August.
Wow.
So just a huge whirlwind, like what is that, like 5 months, and then she was gone. And they had said a prognosis of 3 years. So that's what we thought we had.
Yeah.
So that was just like really difficult to navigate. Like I was also the one like there when my mom passed. Like it was my shift to be with her
Yeah.
overnight. And I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night because I like felt her soul like leave this realm. Like it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And then it was also hard just being the one to tell everyone like she had passed. I just again felt like I was in a daze. Like, you know what I mean? Like I had just been promoted. I finally like feel like I know what I'm doing, and then I got hit like a ton of bricks. Like my mom just passed away. And like everyone at work was so gracious. Like I will forever be thankful to all my coworkers who were there for me during that time because it was insane. And like a lot of the doctors like helped review the labs for me and like help me understand what was going on because I had no idea. So she passes in August. And again, like I'm just kind of going through the motions, living day by day once again. And then in December, I end up getting promoted to be a health coach. So
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. So I finally kind of got to where I wanted to be once again. You know what I mean? It was just like those little steps. Um, and then in January, I was like, you know what? Like me and my mom had always joked about finishing school because my mom had wanted to go and get her bachelor's in education. And I was like, I'll go back to school when you go back to school because I had stopped going. I never finished my degree. So I'm like, when you go back, I'll go back too. So, and one of her biggest things for me when she passed was that she wanted me to go back to school and like just do more with my life. Like, again, like you can be so much more than what you're doing. Like, I just want you to really succeed in life and do more than I had done.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go back to school. So in January, I re-enroll in school and I'm like, I'm just going to at least finish my degree. Like, I was just
Yeah.
getting my associate in arts and I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. It's a path. It's something I knew
Yep.
this is what she wanted me to do. I'm going to do it. And then, of course, COVID hits in March. So complete shutdown, no more going to school in person. Everything's online, which was like a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and I mean, just the whole like perfect storm, I am depressed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to pick myself up, do the best that I can, go back to school, and then the whole shutdown. I can't even go to work anymore. Like, I can't go to school. My life's upside down. My mom had just passed, and I'm depressed. Like, to the point I'm not showering, I'm not brushing my teeth. Like,
Yeah.
the only time I would is when my boyfriend would come. I gotta at least keep my boyfriend. Like, I can't handle something else happening right now. And I'm like so thankful for that too, because I had met my now husband, so that same boyfriend.
Oh,
We
lovely.
had been dating, yeah, we had been dating for 6 months when my mom was diagnosed. So that was like a whole other thing. Like, I'm in this new relationship and like my whole world is turned upside down. And he just like really was there for me. And I
Wow.
mean, that just solidified everything. And my mom also really liked him. So having mom's stamp of approval, I'm like, yeah, I found my husband. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in. So going through depression, super not good. And one of my coworkers was like, Denise, like, I need you to get it together. Like, you are so smart, like you're so driven, like I need you to do more with your life. And she was a nurse. So she's like, I need you to look into nursing school. She's like, I know you could do this. And I'm like, okay, like I'll call. And so the next day I call and miraculously I only needed like 3 more classes for prerequisites to get into the nursing
Wow.
program. So I don't know how I did it, but I set myself up for success. And I was like, all right, I have a plan. I'm going to give this nursing thing a shot. I mean, why not? It's only 3 more classes. And I was doing them like anyways. So I start my prerequisites and I'm like, okay, I have till December is my deadline that I need to apply, or else I'll have to like go back to school and get my MA license because I didn't have it. So now I'm on a time crunch. So I need to get 3 classes in before December. I think we're in May at this point. So I'm just like trying to hurry up and finish to the finish line. And I get it done. I apply in December. And they told me it's a 3-year wait. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I was like, let
Wow.
me get my ducks in a row. Because nursing school is serious. And I had some other people in nursing school tell me, like, you can't work and be in nursing school. Like, there's just no way. Like, if you can do it, try like to not work. So I'm like, okay, I have 3 years to save, get like my finances in order, try to like figure all this out. And then that's like my plan. I'm like, all right, 3 years, I'm on my road. And then July is when I meet you and I go to the conference in Austin.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of like struggling with it. I'm like, this is another huge leap. Like, I'm talking about quitting my job that pays me well. Like, I'm happy I even am in the building to begin with. And then just to do this 2-year gap of not working and just relying on my husband. And I'm super financially independent. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's kind of scary just to like
Yeah.
turn your life over, you know? And I'm like, that's just in the back of my mind. So we go to this conference, I hear you speak, and it's just talking about like unlocking that thing within you, like being more than you can be, and just kind of like going for it whenever you can, just shoot your shot. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, you're right. Like, my like one of my best friends, that trip really solidified our relationship. And she's like, girl, like, you need to start like thinking, you're thinking too small. You need to think big. She's like, you can do anything you want to do. Like, just do it. Like, you're doing it. Like, give yourself that credit. And I'm like, you know what? Like, you're right. Like, I'm doing this thing. So I'm like, I'm on the right path. Like, I know it now. It's like rock solid. Like, I know whatever happens, I'm going to get through it and it's going to be great. Like, I'm just going with
Yeah.
that mindset now. And in March, I end up getting accepted into the nursing program. So I got in way sooner than the 3 years.
Wow.
Like, yeah. Like, so I think after that conference in January, I applied to do like a dual enrollment program. So I would go to Phoenix College during like the normal like spring and fall semesters, and then I would go through ASU year round to get my bachelor's.
Oh,
So yeah, I
okay.
was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it hard.
You're not playing. You're not playing around. You're gonna go for
And
it.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go. And after I applied to that, like I got into 3 months later. And I'm like, wow, that like really accelerated my timeline. Like, this is not what I thought I was gonna get into. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with it because everything so far has been kind of like God's plan. And if this is what it needs to be, like this is what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna do it. So I
Amazing.
get into school, and like while I was waiting for that, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just finish my AA while I'm at it? So I finished my associates.
Oh my god. You're like, what a big deal.
You know what? That's one more thing. I was a woman on a mission. I was like, I'm just gonna get it all done. So I'm like, the ball's already rolling. Let's just keep it going. So I graduate in May with my A, quit my job in August, and that was honestly so hard. Like, not just because of the financial thing, like I truly
Yeah.
loved the team I worked with. Like I was in such a groove. Like I loved the doctor I worked with, the nurse, like my manager. Like it was such a great like it was so hard to leave. So
Yeah.
hard. But like I knew it needed to be done. So there I went. And I just like got the ball rolling with nursing school. I hit the ground running. I started ASU that summer in May. And then August is when I would start my block one with Phoenix College. And that's when I quit my job. So I worked till like the very last second. And wow, it was hard. I'm not going to lie. Like,
Yeah. For sure.
very hard to do that all. I was semi like newly married. I got married. I got married that October. So like recently married. I just quit my job, moved in with my husband because we also kind of did that old school where we didn't live with each other till we got married. So just a lot of new things happening. And I'm getting through it. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm just trucking block one. I'm so lost in the sauce. I'm like, I was never an MA. I never had any hospital experience, and that's all block one. So this is a whole new world for me. Once again, but I'm gonna get through it. Block two also really hard, and then block three and four, you just kind of feel like you hit that plateau, and then you're just rolling down the hill. Um, and when I'm in the last block, like you start applying for jobs, like you're trying to figure out what you want to do. And my dream was always to work at St. Joe's. Like that kind of ignited the whole flame. Like the way those nurses took care of my mom and just how I had to take care of her after that. Like I was like, I could do this. Like this is something that I like to do. Like I'm passionate about it, you know, and even more so after I've experienced that loss. Cause like I know what that's like to be in the worst moment of your life. You need someone there to like take care of your family and you as like the family member. Like it's incredible what all those nurses did for my mom during those few months. And I was like, I want to work there. Like I want to be one of those nurses. I want to take care of people the same way they took care of her. And when I went to go apply for Joe's, I had seen a hummingbird. And when the significance of that is when my mom was diagnosed, we went out to the healing garden and we heard the hummingbird sing for like the very first time. I didn't even know they could do that.
I didn't know
And
either.
yeah, I was like, what is that? And then we saw them and it was like a whole swarm. And we're like, wow, like I didn't even know they could do that. And that's amazing. Like, and
Yeah.
so my mom had told us through her journey that like if when I come back and you see a hummingbird, like that's me visiting you. So sure enough,
Whoa.
when I'm like walking to my interview, I see a hummingbird. And I'm just like, I know that's her. And like just there for me for like this big moment because I just felt like a lot was riding on this, you know what I mean? Like the job market is hard for new grads and everyone is telling me like there's still people who graduated last semester that haven't found jobs and again like another challenge. And I see the hummingbird and I'm like, you know what? Like I got this. Like she's with me. And so I go in there. I totally crushed my interview. Like, I don't know if my manager can now like confirm that, but I really felt like I had crushed that. And not only was it just like the manager that's now mine, it was two other managers from other floors. So I have like three people interviewing me, which was very intimidating, but I wasn't going to let anybody know that. So I interviewed. I'm like waiting to hear back. They're like, it's going to be 2 weeks till you hear anything back because we're interviewing all these people. So I'm just like sitting and waiting, like, I really hope I got this job. And sure enough, like before graduation, they had messaged me and they're like, we'd love for you to join our team. And I was, I know. So, I like couldn't believe it. Like I really like tears of happiness because it's like I worked so hard, like just gave it all up to just shoot this shot on nursing school. And I got not only my dream job, but like the dream place that I've been wanting to work since my first block. Like incredible. I like words just still can't like articulate how good that felt. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they're like, you got the job. And of course, like on the contingency, you pass your NCLEX. So I'm like, oh my God. So there, and then the job starts in July. So I had from May to July to study for my NCLEX and pass my NCLEX. And I'm crazy. So I graduated on like May 17th and I took my NCLEX on the 29th. Cause I was like, just in case I fail, which I'm
Good job.
like, I'll have like 30 days to take it again. I'm like, just in case, like, just worst case plan scenario. I was like, let me just do it right after I graduate. So I did it and I passed and 85 questions nonetheless. So that
Wow.
was also like huge because that's the minimum. And I'm like, all right, I am set to start my job. So I started on July 7th. And this yesterday was actually my last shift on orientation, and I start on my own next week.
Oh my gosh. Denise,
I know
this is
I'm
wild story. I mean, it is so inspiring. But go ahead. I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
No, you're fine. I'm just saying I'm crazy. Like, as soon as I had like a direction, I was like, there is just nothing stopping me. I'm going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I what I love about your story is you had every reason, every circumstance to tell you you shouldn't be doing this. You should just stay in whatever's comfortable, whatever is
Mhm.
safe. You should just stay there because terrible things have happened. And just to hear, and I didn't share this with you, but my mother also passed away from an aggressive form of cancer. This happened actually in 2020, where she was she was not feeling well, and she asked me like, hey, can you help me out? I'm having some issues, and I'm like, well, I'm not a doctor. This is before I even started working at a healthcare company. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna drop you off at the ER because they're not seeing walk-ins or whatever, and I could only drop her off. It wasn't me included. So dropped her off and just casually like, okay, I'll just call me when you're ready, and I'm sure it's no big deal. My few hours later, I got a phone call from a doctor at the hospital, like, hello, like, hey, I'm giving you a call about your mother. And I said, oh yeah, how is she? And he just said, she has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And I mean, I remember exactly where I was and my reaction to it. It is like a truck hits you and you're not ready for it. And went to the hospital, and they actually let me into the ER because during that time in COVID, they didn't let any visitors come in, but because of the circumstances. And so that was a devastating moment. And it was so aggressive that 2 weeks later she passed away. So I know, when you were sharing your story, I resonated deeply with it because I mean, I know you love your mother, and I love my mother, but you
Yeah.
don't realize till it's about time for them to leave, and it's just like you just begin wishing you had so much more time.
Yeah.
I I say all that to say you didn't let that keep you down, and if anything, there was a wish she had for you, and that it sounded like that was a massive unlock. I don't know, what is your thought about that? Like, what unlocked you to? Because really from that point on, it seemed like it was explosive, like, things just
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, no, literally, it felt, and at the time, like you're going through it, like you don't realize how much it's that unlock. You know what I mean? Like you're just going through the motions and you're feeling the progress, but it's like when you take that second to look back at your journey, you're like, wow, like if I had never reached out to that girl, if I had never met my now husband, if my mom would have never got sick, like cuz I mean her advice to me was like, you really like math, like why don't you go be an international banker? And I'm like, what is that? Like I I was like, "Okay, that's a weird stretch, but I guess I'll think about it." You know what I mean? Like, healthcare was never in the forefront of my mind, you know what I mean? And, like, I don't know, like, I think I was living my life really through fear, like fear of like not succeeding, fear of putting yourself out there, fear of not knowing like what that will entail or what that next step is. And it wasn't until like I really started leading with like courage, you know what I mean? Like, what if it works out? What if this is the best thing to happen to me? Like, what if I love it? Is when I really started getting like it just seems so easy. Like there wasn't any resistance. Like it just seemed to just work. You know what I mean? And it's when I let go of that fear and that was holding me back that like I was just skyrocketing through everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's just crazy too because it's like if I hadn't met those people, if like I feel like God always puts people in your life either for like a lesson to help you succeed, like to be there for you. And it's crazy, like, when I think back and all those people who supported me were just so new in my life. You know what I mean? So I really felt like God set me up to have so many people there to, like, support me when I lost one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah.
And I mean, and this is the worst thing that had ever happened to me. Like I felt like I had hit rock. And I mean, they always say like once you hit rock bottom, the only place to go was up. And I was like, you better believe like that's where I'm headed. Like I don't want to keep living like this, you know? And I don't even know if I've answered your question.
No, but you know what? This is the theme I hear about folks that go through this extraordinary unlock. It's they begin with a conviction. There's gotta be something more. What if this is the best thing that ever happened to me? And it really moves into courage to step out. And you said that perfectly. You said, fear was locking me up. I was absolutely terrified, not knowing what the future was, not knowing, is this the right thing? What if everything fails? What will other people think about me? And that fear really handcuffs people in being able to move forward. But that conviction, the courage, and really the community. And you just stated it so perfectly how God brings people into our lives for a purpose. And there are so many people from the nurses that helped you in St. Joe's with your mother's passing to now you being that person in St. Joe's for others. And every person that had touched your life to get to where you're at today. I mean, there's so many people, and I feel blessed and fortunate that you had the courage to even message me on LinkedIn, and I will tell you that was like the best message I'd ever received, and in a timely manner. It was a time when I was not doing great mentally, and I'm like, "Gosh, am I doing anything right?" And that message came at the right time, and so Denise, thank you for reaching out and really sharing your story. Like, it's just so powerful hearing what's happened in your life.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I would have never in a million years messaged someone and been like, "Thank you for like what you did for me." But I felt just like truly moved. You know what I mean? Like I had messaged you the night I graduated from ASU, and
Yeah.
I felt so grateful. I'm like, you didn't know who I was, but like you really truly like inspired me, and it like firmly locked me in because I still felt like I was teeter tottering on that. Like, am I gonna lead with fear? Or am I gonna lead with courage? And like just the way I, like, grew up, you know what I mean? Like, my parents did their best, but, like, they didn't graduate high school because they had me, you know what I mean? And it's like, I had already succeeded in life, you know what I mean? For them and for what they knew and what their standards were. I mean, my mom expected more out of me, but, like, you know, they were happy with where I was in life. It was me that felt unsettled. And, like, just hearing you talk, I'm like, you know, I felt like you know what? I'm right. Like, I am meant for more. I know I can do more. And like, there was just like this nagging feeling, and it could only be like God's will. I don't know. That was like, you could do more. Like, you need to do more. Like, I just felt so pushed towards that. And once I heard you talk, like it just solidified it. I was like, I am running, I am going, like I can do so much more. And I to this day, like me and my friend will always be like, you're thinking too small. You need to think bigger. And that's just the thing we say where it's like, all right, we gotta get it going. Let's just keep it moving. And I had to thank you. Like I really did. I just had to. You just messaging me back, like I didn't expect anything back from you. You're probably like, who is this girl?
No, not at all.
So I was, like, so glad that you reached out to me with, like, such kindness, because that also felt weird to put myself out there and be like, "Thank you," because I mean, you probably give I don't know how many talks, and I'm just one person, you know what I mean? But you truly did inspire me, and I felt that you needed to know that, and
Yeah,
know that, like, what you're doing, like, matters. So, thank you
thank you.
once again.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna be really transparent here too. That message, it really made me question what is it that I'm doing and what is it that I really want to do? And shockingly, probably not. I'm like, I want more of those. I'm like, whatever, however God used me in Denise's life, that's what I want to do. And that's actually what spurred on this crazy conviction to start a podcast and just say, there's so many stories like Denise's and like the other guests that I've had so far that the world needs to know. You're not a tech billionaire. You're not an actor or an actress. You're not someone, because that's actually what is so popular right now. These interview podcasts of these heroic people, and you're just like, oh wow, and they've reached so far and so wide. But I'm like, I'm thinking about the person like you, Denise, like myself, just I'm not looking to become a Hollywood superstar, but I am looking to unlock extraordinary. And I love it that that's what you did through conviction, with the courage to do it, and having a community that supported you. I lastly want to ask, like, what's life like today? Now that you're sort of in it, what's your life like today, and what's your next think big?
Okay. So life is actually amazing. Like, I'm truly loving being a nurse. Like, I know I'm, like, 15 weeks in, but, like, I just knowing that, like, this is my purpose and this is what I work so hard and I'm living in that, like, I am enjoying it. Like, I don't know if I wanna do bedside forever, you know what I mean? But as of right now, like, I am loving my life. Another big, huge passion of mine was to travel. So my mom never got to travel or see the world, and that was always, like, her big thing for me. She wanted besides graduating school, she also wanted me to travel and see the world. So me and my husband are actually going to Japan in March.
Oh,
Yeah, so I did it big, like, literally graduated, and I'm like, "Alright, let's go travel now." So,
good for
yeah, we're
you.
going to Japan with my friend also that told me that I'm thinking too small, so we're thinking big now. Um, so we're gonna spend 13 days in Japan. Cherry blossom season, loving it. Me and my husband are doing great. We have like a little dog together and we're just enjoying our lives. So we're finally getting to sit back and enjoy all that hard work I put us
Yeah.
through the last 2 years.
I mean, truly, truly, you're living it. You're living your best life. Like, there's no
Mhm.
doubt about it. A 13-day trip to Japan, that's wonderful. I think that's awesome. And last piece here is just, what piece of advice would you give to someone that's listening and resonates with your story, with your origin story? What do you want to tell them? And I feel like if they listened to this entire conversation, they heard a lot of great nuggets. But if they were just to sit down with you and you had 5 minutes or less, what advice would you give to them?
My gosh, so much advice. I would say again to like lead with courage. Cause I feel like fear it's all internal. Cause like nobody else is scared of your success or scared if you make a fool out of yourself. Like that's all internal. That's all you. So when you let go of that fear and you lean more in towards courage and excitement, I think it's so much more worthwhile to just keep going. And, like, sometimes too, if the road seems too difficult, it's maybe not your path. Cause I know there was sometimes I was fighting tooth and nail, like, I really like, during COVID, I was trying to buy a house, and this was before nursing school, before whatever. I got outbid 21 times. Like, and one time by a pizza. So I'm like, God was literally out here. Yes, literally, like the other bid had like said, I don't know if they owned a pizzeria or something, but I got outbid by pizza. Like craziest
That's
story.
crazy. That's crazy.
And when I think back at it now, I'm like, God was like, girl, like you got outbid 21 times. Like, when were you gonna like let it go? Like that just wasn't your move, you know? Cause if I would have gone to nursing school, there's no way I would have been able to pay a mortgage, not working, like on one income. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like everything happens for a reason. And sometimes when there's just too much resistance and you're going and you're going and you're going, like sometimes that's for a reason and you're not gonna know about it till you're at where you're supposed to be. So, lead with courage.
Love that. That's awesome. All right. So we've reached the end, and I always like to ask some fun fact stories and I or questions, and I don't give you a heads up about it. But the first big question is lifelong person in Phoenix, what's your go-to eating spot?
Oh my god, there's so many because like I'm a huge foodie and I love Asian food. So I love Happy Bao out in Mesa and also Mensho if you've never been. The ramen. So
Okay.
good.
All right, excellent. And then the other thing, the last question I'll ask about fun fact about Phoenix is what was the hottest day you ever experienced in Phoenix?
I don't know. Oh my god. I think like I could be lying, but I feel like it was 114, 117. And you never get used to the heat. You never get used to it.
Really? So like you've been there lifelong and
Lifelong.
not even thought about moving as it gets to 114, 117. I mean, you're
No, I've
getting
definitely thought about it. No, it's funny too. So, like, in the midst of all this, I went to a family party and my cousin, who I had never met from Alaska, was getting married. And we thought we missed her wedding because of COVID. And she's like, no, like, it's literally in 2 months, a month maybe. I think it was 30 days. My aunt was like, well, do you want to go? Because she invited both of us and I'd never met her. And I'm like, you know what? Like, let's do it. I've never been on a plane. Let's go. So I go and I meet my cousin in Alaska, and this is in July. So I left probably that 114 heat, went to Alaska, and I loved it. And that was, like, the first place where I'm like, "You know what? I think I could see myself living here, like, maybe in the summers and then coming back home for the winters." So that's maybe on the docket. That's maybe something I'll get to do later.
it sounds like the next think big.
I'm thinking big. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Denise, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you for sharing your story and sharing how you unlocked extraordinary in your life. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.